So I recapped all these caps a little while ago, Exxos STFM video one. Now I want to follow the 4 meg upgrade. So these are going to come off. There are 3 resistors there at 68k, and I need to put 3 68s in there. Then when you come to fit the board, there are certain pins it needs to go through in a row, so I'll check that out. I don't know if these need to all be cleared. Certainly I'll get the piece out and I'll check which row. There's a row that needs to be connected together, and then there's some wire that needs to come across and go onto one of these chips. And at one point I want to look at the ROM, because this is a 1.02 and I think 1.04 is the best you can get on here. There might be some other shifters, so I'm going to look into that and see how it works. This is not socketed, so I could remove that, but then a minute I'll leave it where it is. And it's the CO707890001 Rev D board. So I checked before I bought the upgrade that it will work. If it doesn't work, I've got an STE 4 meg anyway. But I just wanted to see if this will work, particularly with Sidecar in here. It really makes it quite neat, although I think Sidecar might have some problems with the slightly old cartridge being dirty. I've cleaned it a few times, and maybe the power supply is not so good, but we'll look at it and see how we get on. While I'm at it, I'll try and show this thing again. I've got it on 380 at the minute, which is quite high, but it seems to be okay. So where's the tip? It's there. So I'm going to have to try and put that like that. Do it one-handed, sorry. Stick that on there. Give it a little bit. And that's pretty clean. No, a little bit more on that one. Yeah, that looks pretty clean to me. So this old lead solder is much easier than the newer stuff, although you've got to be more careful about toxic. Right, put that back in its holder. Carefully see. It's going to be about there, isn't it, on that side? Carefully see if we've got any gubbins this side. Oh, hang on. I have to do it by hanging on. Yep, I had the board inside the sheath, or the shielding, and it was hard. You see they're going straight through, yeah. So this thing is pretty neat. Shiny that is. So again, with the lead solder is pretty cool. So I'll try and line up these. I've just checked them. The 68k, they're slightly better tolerance than the other ones, but they'll do. And I'll put that in. Okay, I'm okay with those. They're in. They are 68s. I've tried to put them the same way around, but I'm pretty colourblind, so there's different sort of colours on them from what I can tell, but they're definitely measuring 68. Let's just check one more time that I'm not doing something stupid. Hang on. Yeah, I checked. They're both 68.3 either side, so that's okay by me. Okay, I'm going to try and take the solder off these. Let's see what happens if I do it off this way. It says you don't need to take the caps off, so we'll just do it like this. A bit more than that. Needs a bit more persuasion. I think I might put a bit more. I mean, normally they say you put solder on it first to get it going. Let's try that one. Oh, that's much cleaner. I hope it's coming out on the video. Sorry if it's not. Yeah, that's much cleaner. So I think I've got to get that little edge like that. Watch it start to go molten. That one's a bit odd. I'll have to come back for that one. Yeah, I haven't quite got the neck. Oh, that's it. No, I see it. I just put it just slightly off. I watch it melt, and then I can see it go. There we are. Watch it melt. Not quite. There we are. Yep. It's my first day. That's coming off quite clean, yeah, so I think you need to just let it get an edge on it. That first one, let's try this side, see if this is a bit more knacked. Now that one I could see it melt immediately. That one, oh, not quite. That's it, I saw that one melt immediately. Yeah, so I'll do this. What I'll do is I'll just put that back in its holder, and I flow a little bit this other. This is more modern solder. This is at 330. Let's flow a little bit more on there. These varifocals, man, they're not very good. If you've got better varifocals than me, let me know how you work with them. A bit of that in there. Let's get a little bit of flux on there. Come on. You can do it. Right, and then let's see if that makes any difference for defluxing this thing. Yes, it does. Okay, so if you find something a bit tricky, try that trick. But you see, oh, I did that slightly wrong. I was trying to show off. Sorry. Yeah, I'll do it again. So it looks like if you mess it up like I just did then, you need to put a little bit more flux on. A little bit like that. That'll do. A little bit more solder rather and flux. And then you've got to hold this tip and let it start to melt like that, and then, and that's it, clean as in. Okay, I'll leave it like that. I'll see how that worked, and I will carry on with the rest. Okay, so reading for the Exxos guide, this is the 2019 revision. All of the pins, it goes to the right of the pins. The full pins on the top right hand corner as the board's upside down. So you see we've got this little thing here, which is that one there, and then we've got the little circle there, which is that one there. And let's just check the registration. What's that? The second pin in the row there, and the top of every ram, and then two together there. So two together there. We find the registration, and the second pin in every row and the top. So I think that's right, is what I'm saying. I don't know if I've damaged the board. It certainly took quite a bit of effort to get it out. It was a combination of, some came out cleanly, but then I followed the tip of just cutting the legs. Yeah, it was much easier. Even with the solder station, I'd certainly recommend cutting the legs like it says. I mean, the instructions there for a reason, so follow them. Yeah. So I've got to work out what to do with this little wire, because I'm a bit confused here. I know about that, I get that, and it talks about it being 1 or 4 meg, and at the moment I think it's configured for 1. So once the 4 bit's been located, you need to carefully turn them over and solder the pins. Once soldered, cut the access pins. Yeah, sure, okay. So I won't do that for the minute. I'm just going to read what it says. Forget the power supply. And then there's this weirdness here about, on the bottom of this Atari, small wire shown MMU TOS location where the wire is soldered, so the via hole will be unsoldered to allow wire to go through. But that's why I don't understand, because that's this thing here. Oh, up there, is it? Have a look. Yeah, it's up there somewhere. So that's out of the way. And those are the TOS ROMs. Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know what... Yeah, there's probably screw holes there. Okay. So he's suggesting any of these vias... Oh, there. Sorry, there and there. So there should be a via... That's going to go, pardon me, on there. And just underneath it, and the whole load of... that thing, let's put it like that. That thing like that put it like this so everyone can see, right? So it's that thing like that, that's there, and somewhere underneath it around here, and a whole load of, right, I think that's this bit here, isn't it? So that's a veer, I think he's saying, that can be undone. Let me just hold my finger there. Yes, I would say that is the one that he means to go undone. I should probably mark that, save myself dicking around. Why can't you just use a long piece of wire? I suppose because it will snag on something, yeah? Okay, I will get on with this. Okay, so partial success because it now says 1 meg RAM there. Why partial? Well, I had the disk drive on here and I thought I'd turn it upside down, but somewhere it touched against the, I guess, the external DMA drive and a lot of smoke come out, which I turned off, so I was a bit worried, but it seems to have worked. Now at the moment I've got it on the 1 meg setting, so what I'm going to do is to short the connection across and see if it goes to 4 meg. I'm still a bit worried about this. There is that horrible stinking like I used to get in the electronics labs, yeah. I suspect it's because the drive, where's it gone? Oh, I don't know what I've done with the drive. The drive was touching across here, so maybe there's a something you can short there. It was that one. I don't know. I'll have a look. I think it was that one. I can feel, yeah, it was that one, the DMA. The good news is that thanks to Sidecart, which I'm using here as the diagnostic, whatever you do, buy one of these things. Even if I have knackered that disk input, as long as the machine works, I can just use that as a disk drive, which I verified worked earlier. So let me just, oh yeah, and I couldn't find a little grey wire, so I've got a long wire there. That's the smoke coming out, guys. So let me just try and see if I get 4 meg. Okay, does this info work? It's going to ask me to put a drive in. I have to pause a second. And just at my moment of triumph, the missus decides not to hoover but to vacuum. What does it say there? 4096. We've got 4 meg. So I've been able to get the Exxos thing in. I've left a little thing like this. I won't touch that. So I can unplug it and convert it to 1 meg. It seems to be okay. That metal's out of the way. That wire should be alright there, I guess. The biggest problem I've got is, why did this DMA smoke? So what I'm going to do is switch it off and plug the floppy drive in, careful not to short anything, and see whether that was the problem or if I've got something else wrong. I'll be back. That noise. Right, so that's insulated in a minute. Let's switch this on. If this smokes, then we know it's to do with something I've done wrong there. I just don't have a floppy disk if I'm quick enough. Let's have a look. Oh, sorry, I don't like doing this with one hand because I don't want to touch anything nasty. I know what I'm going to do. Hang on a second. I'm going to trace this wire back, turn it off at the wall and switch it on there. That's the sensible way to do it. With that switched off at the wall, I can now switch it on here to see if any smoke comes out of here. No smoke at the minute. All good. Doesn't look good, does it? Not a very good drive, I know that. It's up and running. Okay, so I must have just touched that against here somewhere and shorted it. I don't know. I'll have to ask on the forum, see if anyone knows. I don't intend to repeat it. Let's just run the cartridge on, pause it and run it again. Yeah, we got the 4 meg. No smoke. This drive doesn't seem to work very well, but again, that's why I got the Sidecart, and it seems to act as a disk drive. I don't know. This is fantastic. I've got to send the logon throat, is it? I'm sorry, bad with names. I need to send the dude some more money, yeah, because I wasn't expecting. I bought this thing as a disk drive, and it's okay, but it's got the problem that this is exposed, so that's easy to get knocked. This is a bit fragile, and this thing just seems to work, yeah. Well, it's in a beta, but it seems to work. At one point, I might get a slightly higher toss because I've got version 1.02 on here. That's about it. Anyway. Okay, thanks for watching, and would I recommend this upgrade? If you don't mind potentially killing your Atari like I did, yeah, or get an expert to do it for you. I'm not an expert, and it seems to work, but you know, your mileage may vary, so I can't recommend it. As it goes underneath here, you can see it is the STE, and it's all going to go in my MIDI setup, so I already had a contingency should it go wrong. This was one which we got because I bought a new mainboard, an ST mainboard with 4 Mega RAM, and then this was spare. So I managed to get another keyboard, which is slightly different to the other one. And I thought, well, look, for fun, I'm going to do this more than anything else. I'm having fun, although I don't want to burn my house down. So, okay, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.